Hey everyone, and thanks again for joining us today for the session so far. I really hope you're enjoying them. Now, we're going to hear from some of our MIE fellows, and in case you don't know, MIE fellows are the teachers and leaders just like you, but they've stepped up to lead our ANZ community of Microsoft Innovative Educator experts, who are teachers that have selected to be part of our national program. They put together some of their best tips and tricks to help you out this year. So I hope you enjoyed this session. Let us know in the chat or on social which are your favourites, and let's get straight into it.
Hey everybody, my name's Andy Batiste and I'm from Aquinas College on the Gold Coast. I'm an MIE fellow this year and I'm going to show you a couple of quick tips around Teams assignments and a bit of a time saver in assignment settings. So here I am in the general channel. I'm going to head up to the assignments tab and click on that, and anywhere in Microsoft where you see a little cogwheel or a little ellipses, three little dots, you're going to find something exciting. Here we've got assignment settings. If you didn't know this was here, definitely go in and have a look at that. And I'm going to move myself down a little bit. But essentially, this is a bit of a place where you can go in and preset some stuff. So anytime you create an assignment, all these things are already going to be preset for you. And this is where we're going to save time every time we create an assignment. The first one is set in a default due date. And you can do that at any time. At my school, for our larger, more serious assessments, it's 8:30 on a Monday. So I've got that preset there. But I can go ahead and change that to anything I want. And anytime I create an assignment, I can change it as well. The next one is the calendar, which popped up recently last year, which is a really cool feature that notifies the students that an assignment has been created in their Outlook calendar as well. And you got the options between none, students only, students and me, and students and team owners. So whichever one of those suits your needs, click on that, and that's going to be preset every time you create an assignment. The next one is really cool, and it's in notification. So it's where do you want that assignment to actually post and generate to, and you can choose a specific channel for that. For example, you can see here I've got one called assignments. So I've got a list of all my channels, keep moving myself around, all my channels here, and I'm going to click on assignments. That way all the assignments will automatically post to that assignments channel. The students know where to go to find the team's assignments, and it's going to keep my general channel nice and free, and I can keep that for posting just specific important information. The next one is whether you want new students to receive assignments after they've joined the class, or if the students come in late to your class, do they want to receive all the previous assignments? Depending on your circumstance, you can hit yes or no there. I generally do that as no. And the last one is fun stuff. When students hit the hand in button, they get a little animation. They might get a rainbow unicorn or other things like that. Definitely want to leave that one on. But when you go back into assignment now, all of these things are going to be preset there for you. And that's just going to be a little bit of a time saver every time you go in and create an assignment.
Hi, my name is Dean Pearman. I'm the Head of Education at Beaconsfield College here in Victoria. And my back to school tip for the wonderful teachers out there is to utilize a Microsoft Whiteboard within Microsoft Teams. And I tend to set this up at the start of the year so that my students and I have a space to collaborate on. And then I also have a whiteboard that I can actually utilize through the entire course and year with my students. So let's look at how to set that up. First of all, I'm in my team. I create a channel. I click add channel. I'll call this whiteboard _1. I automatically make sure that shows in my students channel list. I create a channel. And once the channel is created, I simply add my whiteboard. And once my whiteboard is added to that channel, students can go back to this space anytime. So when I'm in that channel, I click on the plus to add an app. I click on Microsoft Whiteboard. Once I've done that, I'll give my whiteboard a title. So I'm teaching year 9, so let's call this year 9, 2022. And post that in the channel tab so students can see and find it easily. And once I've done that, I've created a channel that's specifically only for my whiteboard, and my whiteboard can actually create and open. So the whiteboard I've created can open directly within here. So I do want students to collaborate. Once I've done that, what I tend to do is create some structure with the tools that are available in the create section here so that students can easily find the lessons that we're doing. So it's not just one big brainstorm mess, that students have a bit of structure to this. So I advise you all to do that. It's my next hot tip. I hope you have a wonderful 2022.
Hello, I hope you're enjoying the Microsoft EduDay. My name's James Jenkins and I'm the Director of Learning and Teaching Innovation at Canterbury College in Queensland. I'm a science teacher and I'm also a Microsoft Fellow. My back to school tips are about how you can best utilise your OneNote pages, particularly your content library. If you've got a stylus, you should use it. Use it as much as you can. All the things that you would have previously done on a whiteboard, you should now be doing with your stylus on OneNote. That way, all of those little things that occur in the class stay on the OneNote for students to access after the class is done. Model the use of the replay tool. The replay tool in OneNote is fantastic for anything that contains a sequence. So whether it be an equation that's worked out over several lines or a process that occurs in a particular order, the students can then go back through, replay it as many times as they want to enhance their understanding. Another great tool is the ink to shape tool. Really keeps your work neat as well. So if you're drawing anything that involves regular type shapes, you can switch on ink to shape and your triangles will look a lot more like triangles. Using shapes is also really beneficial for things like concept maps or even when you're putting in a text box in your OneNote page for students to construct their answers. OneNote pages are very large. Use the space on the page. I think often we stick to doing things how we would do in a physical notebook, whereas we've got a huge amount of width and length that we can use. Great for things like concept maps. I really like inserting images and video from the classroom into the OneNote notebook. Any of those great learning experiences that happen in your class, if you can digitize those and upload them to OneNote, it means that students get to learn from reliving those experiences, having a second, third, or even a fourth look. You can also use the Photos app to add digital ink on top of any of those photos and videos to help with student understanding. There's a range of tools that you can embed into your OneNote notebooks, from things like Microsoft Forms to YouTube to a whole load of other educational tools. The link on the next page will take you to the updated list of those. Here are some resources that you might find useful, and I've also included my Twitter handle for anybody that might want to connect and talk about any of these things. Thank you. Hope you have a great day.
Hi, my name is Kylie Kingdon and I am from Perth, Western Australia. I live on Noongar Budja. I'm a high school history teacher by trade, but I'm currently working as the Virtual School Network consultant for Catholic Education Western Australia. The Vision program is one that allows Catholic students from all over the state to access ATAR and VET courses online. But our go-to tools are Teams and OneNote. However, I'm here to talk to you about my back-to-school tip, and that would definitely be using Flipgrid. I absolutely love using Flipgrid, both with my face-to-face classes and my Vision classes. It's super important in Vision because I don't get to see my students face-to-face, and we only have Teams calls once a week during term time. Before heading back to classes, I set up a group for my new Vision class and copy over the topics which I wish to use again from my previous group. So you can see here, this is my 2020 class, and then I also have here my 2021 class. So to save time, I'll often take topics that I've created and transfer them across. So say, for example, I want to use this Impact of World War II topic. All I need to do is click on the three little dots, duplicate the topic, select which group I want to duplicate that topic into, and hit duplicate. And that's going to take across all of my information for that particular topic, but it will not take across comments or responses. So now I can go back to my original page, refresh that, and you can see the topic has arrived in my 2022 class. So that's my top back to school tip using Flipgrid. There's a couple of resources here in the Microsoft Learn modules. Please feel free to have a look at them. And also please feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm always willing and able to talk about Flipgrid. I am not obsessed, but I am close. Have a great start to the year, everybody.
Hi, my name's Lynette Barker. I'm a teacher librarian and the Learning Technology Coordinator at St. Teresa's Primary School in New Lambton, which is in Newcastle. And I'm also a Microsoft Fellow, which is very exciting for me. My tip for the year is to look ahead, look at all the outcomes you have to cover and list them together in one document. I've chosen OneNote because I love the interactivity of it, and it also allows me to flick between my map and my program. But other teachers prefer Word, and at our school we list the KLAs and then we go across by term. And it's a nice way to look at how you can integrate some of the outcomes as well. Either way, whichever method you prefer, once you have it written, sit back and hopefully you're relaxed and in holiday mode and think about all those all the Microsoft tools, naturally, but all the technology tools and programs that you love. And then drop them on where they authentically fit. Now, the beauty of this is you are making sure you cover the ones you love within the year. You're also making sure you're putting in the ones that you sometimes forget about. Now, for me, that's Sway. I love Sway, but I get so distracted by all the new technologies, I forget to go back to it. And it is a really good tool for presenting information. So I've listed it there as a prompt for me. The other thing that you can do when you're in particularly OneNote is create a section called Technology that sits beside your map and create a page for each of the tools or programs. So when I come to the collections tool, which I'll be doing with stage 3 and probably term 2, I can click on that link. And what I have here is a screenshot from a module that's out of the Microsoft Learn Educator Centre, which used to be our community centre. I've taken that screenshot because I want to remember what the module was about. But more importantly, I've given myself the direct link. So it could be the night before I'm going to teach this and I've thought, I just really need a refresher. It's there and it's ready to go. So whilst we have the time, if we put in all these resources and links, it will certainly make our teaching load easier as we work throughout the year. Now, of course, we can add other tools in as we come to experience them and learn about them, but this is a really nice foundation to keep us on track with technology this year. Have a great year.
Greetings. My name is Margaret Simkin and I'm from southwest Victoria on Gunditjmara country. My weapon of choice in 2022 is going to be reading progress assignments set in Microsoft Teams. 3 reasons why. Successful life relies on literacy. I can set homework and see when, where, and how well it was done. And because I'm teaching students I have never taught before. The secret powers of reading progress are building general literacy skills with pre-prepared materials, or you can be like me and create your own adventure. I trialled its impact on last year's VCE History Revolutions class by using sources from previous exams. The feedback was most helpful in terms of advising individuals as to their weaknesses in terms of best practice and in relation to unfamiliar words. This year I will be taking Year 7 through Ancient Times and Year 8 Middle Ages, Vikings and the Black Death. So why this type of assignment? Firstly, I can set pages from the texts we use or from source materials relevant to the topic being studied. I can watch my students read, which will be an excellent way to get to know who they are. I can also see the evaluation that is automatically provided to me by the product. This helps me to give feedback, and the more reading progress is used, the more information I'm going to have to aid in setting appropriate tasks across my classes. Coming towards examination time, I can get them to read some critical passages several times to help them learn vital content. I've put reference on this screen to where you can find more information. I look forward to making contact with you, and all the best for a great year.
Hi there, I'm Nathan Richards. I'm an ICT Engagement Officer at Brisbane Catholic Education. Let's take a look at how to set up the student section for your class notebook through Microsoft Teams. First thing to consider is how you imagine what you want your student structure to look like. The student element of our class notebook can include both section groups followed by sections. Take the time to plan how you might like this to look in accordance with how you plan to deliver the curriculum. Next, once you have access or have set up your class team, click on the Class Notebook tab. Then click on Set up a OneNote class notebook. If you'd like to carry over material from the content library or teacher-only section from a previous year's class notebook, or maybe an existing OneNote that you use, click on From Existing OneNote Content and follow the steps. Otherwise, click on Blank Notebook. If this is your first time using Class Notebook, take the time to read the initial information page, then click Next. If your student structure includes section groups, delete all of the recommended sections on this page. If it doesn't, you can rename the sections here. Click Create. Your new class notebook is now ready in Teams. Let's click to open in the desktop app. Once loaded, click on the Class Notebook tab, then Distribute New Sections, followed by Distribute New Section Groups. In the wizard, fill in the structure, then click Distribute. Repeat this process for each section group that you've allocated for your students. And there it is, you're done. The student section in your class notebook is now set up, ready to go for another year.
Hi everyone, my name is Peter and I'm one of the Microsoft MIE Fellows for Australia. So I'm going to just show you how you can turn your ordinary PowerPoint into a video for others to watch. So to do this, I'm going to add a new tab at the top here. So I'm going to go to File and down in Options, I'm going to go to the Customize ribbon down here, and then over here on this side, I'm going to go down until I see recording, and then I'm going to click on it and go OK. Now that I have the recording tab, I've got all my little buttons and fixtures for turning my ordinary PowerPoint into a video. So I do have the record slideshow mode here, and this is what it would look like, where you can record, you can draw, you can clear your slide. You can also put yourself in the corner here for your students to see. You can also insert forms, which is what I've done on this side, and I'm also screen recording this now to show you how to do it. And this is what it would look like in the PowerPoint. Once I do that, it turns it into a little video, and then you can just right click Save as Video. But these are the three I wanted to introduce you to. This first one here is Save as Show. So it would save it as a separate file, and then you can send that to your friends or your students, and then they can just start to watch that show. No need to edit it or anything like that. You can also export your PowerPoint as a video, and it will save all your timings and everything like that included, and it would send it. I would save mine to my OneDrive, and from my OneDrive I would get the link to share that with my students in an email or OneNote or Teams or however I'm communicating with my students during this time. And if your school also has Stream, you can publish it to Stream straight away, and once it's on Stream you can also get the link, but you can also embed like quiz questions as well in your Stream video. So go and have fun, check out some of these skills, and it will turn you into an educational rock star in no time. Enjoy!
Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. My name's Simon Harper. I'm the head teacher of technology and learning at Killara High School. We are a large public high school based in Sydney on the lower North Shore with 1,700 students. My tip is actually quite a simple one for setup, is with Microsoft Teams, setting up your channels and actually showing your students what you want them to do in each channel. So I'm going to show you now. Here's my team now for hospitality last year. So when you're setting it up, you need to think about what you want to do in these channels. It's a practical subject, hospitality. So I have a number of channels. So I have the general channel for just normal chat, class resource channel, which basically encompasses all of the lessons, lesson goals, success criteria, and any of the resources that they need. We had a HSC examination preparation channel, been a practical subject. All practicals were posted here for students, and work placement when students went on work placement. So basically, if you add channels here, I just want to show you for each channel, you can add tabs. But what I've done with PowerPoint is actually create just a slide done into PDF as to what they do in the general channel. You then need to actually teach your students what you want to do, how you're going to get them to post. But it's a really simple tip. It works very, very effectively. The key when you're choosing your channels is to choose ones for not communication, for collaboration, for a whole range. I'll put up my Twitter if you want to join me, and we can have a chat about how you could set up your team. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
In this short video, I'm going to show you some of the supporting ideas behind why I think using maths tools in OneNote is a great idea. There's the learn.com module there that you can do that dives a little bit deeper into this, but there's 4 strategies and practices that I really subscribe to. Okay, worked examples, independent practice, self-checking correctives, and academic care. Now you can pause the video to read through some of the evidence that I've gleaned out of the research there that supports what I'm trying to do with the why behind maths tools, but jumping into some of the examples here. There's the first one, 2-step linear equation they need to solve. So they can ink it or type the equation, but using the lasso tool here, select the lasso tool, lasso it. Now, the maths menu can be found on the draw menu or the insert menu. I prefer the draw menu because it's all in the one place. Now here's the beauty of it. They can solve. There's the answer. That's great, but the back of the book does that. What we're looking for is the work solution. So they can see the worked example effect. And then down the bottom, if they've had success or they need more practice, we can generate the practice quiz down the bottom here. Okay, worked example, and there's the generating a practice quiz that supports the independent practice. Now we can move on and we can have a look at this, expanding. We're going to expand the binomial there. So again, lasso tool, select it, go to the maths tool, okay, check that it's correct, select an action. Well, the student's been asked to expand it. There again, there's the answer, which is great. That gives them straight away that immediate feedback, but also there is some more work there on the work solution. Also, we got the immersive reader in there, and also again, down the bottom there, we have generating a practice quiz, more opportunity there. So again, there's the opportunity for the student to do some self-checking and corrections and also to get independent practice with some worked examples. And finally, just to show you that we can use this for graphing as well. Okay, again, ink it or type it, lasso tool, boom, come down here, maths, select the action that we want. We want to graph it in 2D. So there's the graph. We can put in some key features, boom, and we can actually insert it on the page. So look, there's some of the features behind why I think using maths tools in OneNote is a great idea that supports student learning. Cheers.
Hi everyone, my name's Tamara Sullivan and I'm the Deputy Principal at Brisbane South State Secondary College. And today I'm going to share with you some of my key tips when creating team channels. So my first tip is to really consider the layout of your team sites and the channels. And what I like to do is to show the students on how they can get to the list view so that it somewhat mirrors the same view that they see in their OneNote notebooks. So to change from the tile view to the list view, go up to the settings by clicking on the 3 dots. And when you go into the settings, that you will see in here that you can change it to the list view. My second tip is to really consider having a consistent way of naming your team channels, whether that be across your different year levels or your subject areas. And this really provides a little bit more consistency for our students, particularly in a high school when some of our students can be interacting with up to 7 team sites within a day. And sometimes it can become really confusing if a teacher uses completely different naming conventions and where to post and where to store information. So at Brisbane South, we've agreed on a common way of naming our team channels. And so you can see at the top there, we always start with this general administration, and then we list units 1 through to 4, and that's the same as having, say, a term unit. And then we have a channel for their homework and also a channel for their questions and answers. We also make sure that the team channels are numbered, and that will put them in the correct order. Now, our teachers can create additional channels, and that's perfectly fine, but we want those common ones right across each one of our subject areas just to provide some consistency there for our students. So if you want some more information, please visit the Education Centre, where you will find some courses, videos and documentation on how to create team channels.
So how good was that? I'm sure there's a lot there that you're going to draw on over this year that you can use with your students just to make a real difference. Well, that's it from me for the day. Thank you very much. And over to you, Amanda, to wrap things up.